Good morning, all of you. So today we are going to discuss uh, a very important theoretical bit. Okay, as I know that we have solved only 2 or 3 numericals on that air gap, but whenever we will have the time, definitely we will try to solve that. And now, today we will start that the new theoretical bit of the same topic, magnetic circuit and the single phase transformer. Okay, so let's have attention here. So the point title is electromagnetic induction. So your focus is towards this word, electromagnetic induction. What is mean by that induction is that. Now, as we know that the basic concept of that electromagnetism, and that concept is when the current is flowing through the conductor, the magnetic field is generated along its length. And that experiment, we know that this is the Oersted experiment. But another one thing it is observed. And what is that thing? See that. Here we consider that the one coil. This coil is wound with or here we consider that one hollow cylinder, which is wound with that coil. And this coil is connected with the galvanometer. The galvanometer which is used to measure the voltage. And one bar magnet which is placed near to that arrangement, that coil. It is observed that when the bar magnet is moved towards the coil, then the galvanometer shows the deflection at one side. And when the bar magnet is moved away from that coil, again it is observed that there is a deflection of a galvanometer in the opposite side. Have you observed that? ज्यावेळेस हा बार मॅग्नेट कॉइल कडे मूव्ह होतोय त्यावेळेस गॅल्व्हनोमीटरची डिफ्लेक्शन ही एका साइड कडे आहे आणि ज्यावेळेस हा बार मॅग्नेट कॉइल पासून लांब जातोय त्यावेळेस गॅल्व्हनोमीटरचं डिफ्लेक्शन हे अपोजिट साइडला आहे. बट अनदर वन थिंग इज दॅट when there is a no movement of a bar magnet, the galvanometer not shows any kind of a deflection. So from this experiment, what is your observation? Can anyone try? ज्यावेळेस आता बघा आपली इनिशियल अरेंजमेंट काय आहे की एक हॅलो सिलेंडर, on that cylinder a coil is wound in a n number of turns and the end of the coil is connected to the galvanometer. आता हा गॅल्व्हनोमीटर डिफ्लेक्शन कधी दाखवणार आहे जर त्या कॉइल मध्ये ईएमएफ तयार झाला, ईएमएफ इंड्यूस झाला. And one bar magnet which is kept close to this arrangement or the coil, it is observed that म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस तो बार मॅग्नेट त्या कॉइलच्या जवळ जाईल त्यावेळेस त्या गॅल्व्हनोमीटरचं एका साइडकडे डिफ्लेक्शन दिसतंय तुम्हाला आणि ज्यावेळेस तो बार मॅग्नेट कॉइल पासून लांब जाईल त्यावेळेस पुन्हा एकदा गॅल्व्हनोमीटरचं डिफ्लेक्शन दिसतंय परंतु ते अपोजिट साइडला दिसतंय. And another one thing is that when there is a movement of this bar magnet, then and then it is observed that there is a deflection of a galvanometer is there. It means that when the bar magnet have no displacement or no movement, that time the galvanometer don't show any kind of a deflection is there. So what is that your observation? So your observation should be here the conductor is a stationary. It means that the coil is a stationary, but the magnetic field is a changing or moving, and hence EMF is induced in the coil. And this phenomena is called as electromagnetic induction. And this experiment was, or this thing was discovered by the Michael Faraday. So what was that experiment? When the magnetic flux link with the coil or conductor changes, then EMF is induced in a coil or conductor is there. So this is the Michael Faraday experiment is there. आता magnetic flux link with the coil changes. The change in the magnetic field is the basic requirement to induce the EMF in the coil or conductor is that. आता हा चेंज नेमका कसा होतोय त्याच्यासाठी मी इथं सांगितलं की ज्यावेळेस बार मॅग्नेट हा कॉइलकडे मूव्ह होतोय, म्हणजे काय होतंय, बार मॅग्नेट ज्यावेळेस कॉइलकडे मूव्ह होतोय त्यावेळेस गॅल्व्हनोमीटर एका साइडला डिफ्लेक्शन दाखवतोय, आणि बार मॅग्नेट ज्यावेळेस कॉइल पासून दूर जायचा प्रयत्न करतोय त्यावेळेस सुद्धा गॅल्व्हनोमीटर डिफ्लेक्शन दाखवतोय, पण तो अपोजिट साइडला दाखवतोय. पण जर बार मॅग्नेट हा कॉन्स्टंट राहिला, म्हणजे त्याचं मूवमेंट झाली नाही, then the galvanometer not shows any deflection is there. It simply indicates that whenever the flux link with the coil or conductor changes, this change is very important. This is the basic requirement to induce the EMF in a coil or conductor. So this is the first thing. But if you try to observe that in this experiment, this coil is a stationary, म्हणजे ती मूव होत नाही कुठंच. What will be the move? This bar magnet is a movable part is that, means the magnetic field is the movable thing is there. This is the magnetic field. Is it right? So that's why here I have written here conductor is stationary and the magnetic field is a changing. आता ज्यावेळेस बार मॅग्नेट मूव्ह होतोय, it means that the magnetic field link with this coil, it changes, and this is the basic requirement to induce the EMF in the coil is there. Is it that clear? This was the first experiment. Now the second experiment is that, now you can see that here also. Now here the N pole and S pole are stationary. Here that N pole and that S poles are stationary part is there. 1 minute please. Something problem it occurs. Now if you see that here, this N pole this is the second case. Now here this N pole and S pole are stationary. It means that this magnetic field is a stationary. This is the magnetic field. Is it right? But if you observe that here the coil which is connected with the galvanometer, it will be movable part is there. It will be movable part, and when it moves, definitely it will cut the magnetic lines. And according to the basic requirement, when the change in magnetic field link with the coil or conductor, in this case also the EMF is induced. Get it my point? Now, if you see the thing, once again, please try to read that. The Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. The first law is when the magnetic flux linking to the coil or conductor changes, an EMF is induced in the coil or conductor. And the second law is related to the magnitude of induced EMF in a coil or conductor is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux linkage. That's why we can write that equation E is directly proportional to N phi 2 minus N phi 1 upon T. Is it right? And now, if I want to write this equation in the form of differential equation, then here I can replace this proportional sign with a proportional constant, and that proportional constant is a K, but here the value of K is a 1, so that I can write the induced EMF. That number of turn is a constant. Let me take it outside. So I can write in a bracket phi 2 minus phi 1 upon T. And that thing, we can calculate that phi 2 minus phi 1 is nothing but change in flux. change in flux, so that we can have that equation induce the EMF, which is equal to E is equal to N d phi by dt, where d phi by dt is called as change in rate of change of flux. d phi by dt, what we call, it's a rate of change of flux. But when we try to multiply it with the N, then we call it's a rate of change of flux linkage. Because as you know that the flux linkage is nothing but N into phi. So this is the main equation according to the Faraday's law, induce the EMF in a coil or conductor, which is equal to N d phi by dt. Is that? Is it that clear? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And now, how to find out the direction? Now we know that the EMF is induced in a coil or conductor according to the Faraday's law. And now we have to find out the direction of this induced EMF is there. So how we can find out the direction of induced EMF? So there is one law. With the help of this law, we can find the direction of induced EMF. And due to that EMF, when the current it flows, so the direction of that the current also we can find out by using that Lenz law is there. So what is that Lenz law? Just try to read the definition. The Lenz law of electromagnetic induction states that when an EMF is induced according to the Faraday's law, the polarity of that induced EMF is such that it opposes the cause of its production. The polarity of induced EMF is always opposes the cause produced it. Then definitely the question comes in your mind, how we can find out that the polarity of induced EMF or the direction of induced current. So let's we try to consider here. As we know that the Lenz law says that the direction of induced EMF or the polarity of induced EMF is always opposed to the cause produced it, so that the Lenz law is reflected in the equation of induced EMF with this minus sign here. So that our equation for that induced EMF E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. What that minus sign indicates, that the minus sign simply indicates that this induced EMF is always opposed to the cause produced it. And what is the cause? The cause is a change in magnetic field. What is the cause? The cause is change in magnetic field. Now, if you see that, if you read that, this negative sign shows that the direction of induced EMF and the direction of change in magnetic field have opposite signs is there. Now, what is that exact Lenz law? You can see from this diagram here. Now, once again, we consider that one hollow cylinder wound with a coil, which is connected with a galvanometer, and that one bar magnet. And if we assume that N pole of bar magnet, when it is moved towards the coil, आता ज्यावेळेस N pole हा coil कडे move होईल, so definitely the magnetic field link with the coil changes, कारण या बार मॅग्नेटची स्वतःची मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड आहे. मग ती मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड जसा जसा बार मॅग्नेट हा कॉइलच्या जवळ जाईल, तसं तसं त्या नंबर ऑफ टर्न्सला मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स हा मोर लिंक होईल. And according to that Faraday's law, when the flux link with the coil changes, definitely galvanometer shows the deflection. It means that EMF is induced. And according to that Lenz law, this induced EMF is always opposed to the cause produced it, and the cause is the magnetic field produced by this bar magnet. Cause काय असणार आहे? कशामुळे EMF induce होतोय? तर तो बार मॅग्नेट कॉइल कडे मूव्ह होतोय. This is the cause. That's why according to that Lenz law, this terminal of this solenoid or this terminal of that coil when it will act as a N terminal, then definitely it will oppose to the N terminal of this bar magnet. And if I say that if this end of the coil, when it acts as a N terminal, definitely other end it will act as a S terminal. And then according to the right hand thumb rule, you can easily find out the direction of the induced EMF is there. It means that the Lane's law, which is helpful to decide the N terminal of this solenoid or the coil here. Is it right? So you can try to read it here. By the Lane's law, when the magnet is inserted in solenoid, when the magnet is inserted into the solenoid, the north pole will be induced on the right hand side of a coil to oppose the incoming north pole, because this will be opposed to the cause produced state. That's why the north pole will be induced at the right hand side of this the solenoid here. Is it right? And this north pole and the north pole of a bar magnet definitely always having the repulsion. This is nothing but the opposed to the cause produced rate according to the Lane's law. And then by using the right hand thumb rule, the induced current will flow anti-clockwise so that the galvanometer shows the deflection at right hand side. This is the Lane's law is there. Now you can consider that another one case. Suppose I consider that now the bar magnet is moving away from that solenoid. आता ज्यावेळेस बार magnet हा move होतोय away from that solenoid, then definitely the terminal of the solenoid, it will be get changed according to the Lane's law. Because when it will move away from that solenoid, and this is the main cause to produce the induced EMF in the coil, so that if it opposed to the cause produced it means that now the right hand end of the solenoid will act as a solenoid, right hand side of the solenoid, it acts as a S pole, so that it will be opposed means it will attract it towards that bar magnet. कारण बार मॅग्नेट ऍक्च्युअली कसा मूव्ह होतोय, इकडे मूव्ह होतोय, परंतु आता त्याच्यासाठी अपोज डायरेक्शन पाहिजे, म्हणजे तो ऍक्च्युअली इकडे अट्रॅक्ट झाला पाहिजे. And due to that, the end of right hand end or the right hand side of the solenoid will act as a S pole, so that there should be the attraction in between them is there. And once this will act as a S pole, definitely other end it will act as a N pole. And then you can easily calculate by using the right hand thumb rule, you can easily calculate that the direction of induced EMF and the current here. Now read it here. When by the Lane's law, when the magnet is a withdraw, actually it's a spelling mistake, it's a withdraw from the solenoid, a south pole will be induced on the right hand side of the coil to oppose the outgoing north pole. And hence, by right hand thumb rule, induced current will flow in a clockwise direction so that the galvanometer shows the deflection to the left. म्हणजे ज्या वेळेस हा मॅग्नेट मूवेबल आहे, तो स्टेशनरी नाहीये, मॅग्नेट हा कंटिन्युअस मूव्ह करतोय. either it move inside the solenoid or it move outside the solenoid, but the movement of the magnet is the essential thing to induce that EMF is there. And according to the Lane's law, the terminal of the solenoid, it will get changed based on the movement of the bar magnet. If the bar magnet is trying to insert into the solenoid, then right hand end or the right hand side of the solenoid acts as a north pole. And when the bar magnet is withdraw from the solenoid, then the right hand side of the solenoid, it acts as a S pole, according to the Lane's law is there. So in this way, we can apply the Lane's law to decide the polarity or the direction of an induced EMF here. So try to read it. The Lane's law states that the direction of an induced EMF is such that it always tends to oppose the cause which produced it. Is it that clear? Is it that clear about the Lenz law? How the Lenz law is helpful to find out the terminal of the solenoid coil here? Is it okay? And now the one thing we know now here, when there is a change in flux linkage link with the coil or conductor, EMF is induced. So based on that, these are the 4 important conclusions. Till now, whatever the points we discussed, so these are the conclusions of all these points are there. So you please try to read all these 4 conclusions very carefully along with me. With the help of his experiment, Faraday's draw for 4 important conclusions which provided the basic of his law. Number 1, the galvanometer shows deflection whenever there was a relative motion between the magnet and the coil. It means that there should be the motion in between magnet and that coil. Second conclusion, the deflection was more when the relative motion was faster and less when the relative motion was slower. It means that it is totally depends upon the flux link with the coil. The third conclusion is that the direction of a deflection changed if the polarity of a magnet was changed. That's why we say that when the magnet is moving towards the coil, the galvanometer shows the deflection at one side, and when the magnet it moves away from that coil, the galvanometer shows the deflection at other side. The deflection in the galvanometer changes with a change in number of turns of the coil. More the number of turns, greater the deflection is there. So these are the 4 important conclusions from the Faraday's experiment is that. Okay, is it that clear? And now we will have the more focus on that induced EMF here. As we know that the basic requirement of an induced EMF. What is the basic requirement? Can anyone tell me? What is the basic requirement to induce the EMF in a coil or conductor? What is that basic requirement?
Change in magnetic flux.
Absolutely correct. The basic requirement of an induced EMF is a change in a magnetic flux link with the coil or conductor. So this word is very important here. Change. Is it right? So your focus is towards this word here. And now, as we know that the flux link with the coil or conductor changes, either magnetic field is rotating or changing, or conductor is rotating or changing. And based on that, induced EMF has its 2 types. Change in a magnetic flux can be either changing or moving conductor, म्हणजे एकतर कंडक्टर मूव्ह झाला पाहिजे, त्या ठिकाणी मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड स्टेशनरी राहील, किंवा मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड मूव्ह झाली पाहिजे, त्या ठिकाणी कंडक्टर स्टेशनरी जाईल. म्हणजे या दोन्हीही केसमध्ये मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड लिंक विथ द कॉइल और कंडक्टर चेंजेस, आणि ज्यावेळेस ती चेंज होईल अकॉर्डिंग टू द फॅराडेज लॉ, EMF इज इंड्यूस्ड. ना बेस्ड ऑन दिस 2 कंडिशन, कोणत्या ते 2 केसेस आहेत, एकतर कंडक्टर मूव्ह झाला पाहिजे किंवा मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड मूव्ह किंवा चेंज झाली पाहिजे. या दोन्ही केसमध्ये EMF हा इंड्यूस होतोय. अँड बेस्ड ऑन दिस 2 केसेस, the induced EMF can be classified into 2 types. One is dynamically induced EMF and other is statically induced EMF. आता तुम्हाला हे 2 टाइप हे बेसिक कशावरती डिपेंड आहे ते सांगतो बघा, लक्ष द्या. द फर्स्ट टाइप इज अ डायनॅमिकली, म्हणजे जर कंडक्टर हा डायनॅमिक असेल, डायनॅमिक म्हणजे काय हो, तो चेंज मोशन. कंडक्टर हा डायनॅमिक असेल म्हणजे तो चेंज होत असेल, आता कंडक्टर मूव्ह होतोय, चेंज होतोय किंवा रोटेट होतोय, बरोबर आहे. मग त्यावेळेस मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड काय राहील, स्टेशनरी राहील. त्या केसमध्ये जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होतोय त्याला म्हणणार आहे आपण डायनॅमिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ. म्हणजे कंडक्टर मूव्ह झाला पाहिजे आणि मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड काय पाहिजे, स्टेशनरी पाहिजे. आता स्टॅटिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ, स्टॅटिक, आता या ठिकाणी कंडक्टर काय आहे, स्टॅटिक आहे. म्हणजे इट इज टोटली बेस्ड ऑन द कंडक्टर. जर कंडक्टर मूव्ह होत असेल तर डायनॅमिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ, जर कंडक्टर स्टेशनरी असेल तर स्टॅटिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ. आता त्यातला दोन्ही मधला फरक बघा काय येतो, डायनॅमिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ. आता जर तुम्ही या ठिकाणी या डायग्राम मध्ये व्यवस्थित बघितलं तर या डायग्राम मध्ये तुम्हाला असं दिसून येईल की हे एन पोल आणि एस पोल मॅग्नेट आहेत, मॅग्नेटचे दोन पोल आहेत. हे मूव्ह होत आहेत का, नाही, ते फिक्स्ड आहे. तर मुव्हेबल पार्ट काय आहे, तर त्यामध्ये जी काही कॉइल रोटेट होते, रेक्टेंग्युलर कॉइल किंवा त्याला कंडक्टर म्हणा, ती जी काही रोटेट होते ती चेंज होते. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड कॉन्स्टंट आहे, मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स हा युनिफॉर्म आहे, पण त्याच्यामध्ये काय रोटेट होतोय, कॉइल रोटेट होते, कंडक्टर रोटेट होते. आणि या रोटेशनमुळे, या कॉइलच्या रोटेशनमुळे किंवा कंडक्टरच्या रोटेशनमुळे मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स लाइन्स ह्या कट होत आहेत. and due to that the magnetic field link with that the coil changes, and whenever the change is a take place according to the Faraday's law, EMF is induced. In this case the conductor is rotating, conductor is moving, and due to that it will cut the magnetic lines, and according to the Faraday's law EMF is induced in that coil or conductor, and this induced EMF we call it a dynamically induced EMF. Is it that clear? You can try to read it. If conductor is rotating or moving in a uniform magnetic field constant hai, stationary hai, it cuts the magnetic lines, and hence according to the Faraday's law an EMF is induced in the conductor. This induced EMF is called dynamically induced EMF is there. Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For example, generator. If you see that in the generator, the conductor or the coil is just rotating and the magnetic field is a stationary. So that whatever the EMF is induced in the generator, this is an example of dynamically induced EMF. Whatever the diagram, whatever the picture you will observe, this is the one part of a generator here. And this is nothing but the induced EMF. It will shows with this galvanometer is there. So most of the times for the MCQ type of a question, the question it may ask like that, the EMF induced a generator is dot dot type, dynamically or statically. So definitely the EMF induced in the generator, because in the generator the conductor is movable. That's why the induced EMF in the generator we call it a dynamically induced EMF is there. And now we move towards the second type, statically induced EMF. आता इथं statically, it means the stationary. What is stationary? Conductor is stationary. आता कंडक्टर स्टेशनरी आहे, मग त्या ठिकाणी मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड सुद्धा स्टेशनरी राहून चालणार आहे का? जर मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड पण स्टेशनरी आहे, कंडक्टर पण स्टेशनरी आहे, definitely no flux will change, so that no EMF will be induced. So when I say the statically induced EMF, it means that conductor is a stationary. In that case, magnetic field is a changing. Now see that. If the magnetic field is a changing or moving and the conductor is a stationary, according to the Faraday's law, an EMF is induced. And EMF is induced. This induced EMF is called statically induced EMF. Now, this statically induced EMF also having its two types. What are these two types? One is a self-induced EMF and another one is a mutual induced EMF. Okay, now we will try to discuss about the first one, and that example of statically induced EMF is a transformer. In the transformer, the conductor is stationary, but the magnetic field is a changing. Magnetic flux is a changing. That's why that EMF is induced. That's why the transformer is an example of statically induced EMF. And the generator is that example of dynamically induced EMF is there. And now see that what is meant by the self-induced EMF. See this diagram. See this animation here. What it simply indicates, here let me explain that. Consider here one hollow cylinder. This is a hollow cylinder on which a coil is wound with a n number of turns. The end of that coil is connected with a variable resistor, a one switch with a battery. Is it right? It means that when the switch is closed, a current is flow through the coil, and according to that Oersted experiment, when the current it will flow through the coil, the magnetic field is generated. But this is the stationary magnetic field. But with the help of this potentiometer or variable resistor, if we try to vary this resistor, definitely current value into the coil or conductor, it will change. आणि जर करंट चेंज झाला तर त्या करंट मुळे तयार होणारी मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड काय होईल? चेंज होईल. And when this change in magnetic field, actually this is the self magnetic field. म्हणजे त्याच कॉइल मुळे तयार झालेली मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड आहे. ड्यू टू द व्हॅरिंग करंट, ड्यू टू द चेंज इन करंट इन द कॉइल, the magnetic field it will be changes, and when this change in magnetic field link with the same coil, the EMF is induced according to the Faraday's law. So this induced EMF is called as a self-induced EMF. त्यासाठी तर काय म्हणलेलं आहे? सेल्फ. म्हणजे त्या कॉइलच्या करंट मुळेच जर मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड चेंज होत असेल, म्हणजे स्वतःच्या करंट मुळे जर मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड चेंज होत असेल आणि त्या झालेल्या चेंज इन मॅग्नेटिक मुळे त्याच कॉइल मध्ये पुन्हा EMF इंड्यूस होत असेल तर त्याला कसला इंड्यूस्ड EMF म्हणायचा? इट्स अ सेल्फ इंड्यूस्ड EMF. ट्राय टू रीड इट. Self-induced EMF is the EMF which is produced in a coil due to change of its own flux link with it. If the current in the coil is changed, the flux link with its own turn will also change, which will produce an EMF that is called as a self-induced EMF. Is it that clear? What is meant by self-induced EMF? मी पुन्हा एकदा रिपीट करतो बघा. Consider one hollow cylinder. Let me try to draw here. Consider one hollow cylinder. This is a hollow cylinder. A coil is wound on that hollow cylinder with a n number of turn. Sorry. With a n number of turn. This coil is connected with a variable resistor, with one switch, with battery. Is it right? When switch is closed, definitely current will flow through the coil. And when current it flow through the coil, a magnetic field is generated. And we know that this is the resultant shape of that magnetic field. मग आता मला सांगा, ज्यावेळेस या कॉइल मधून फ्लो होणारा करंट हा कॉन्स्टंट असेल आणि त्या कॉन्स्टंट करंट मुळे तयार होणारी ही जी काय मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड आहे ती पण कसली असणार? कॉन्स्टंट असणार. पण जर आपण हा रेजिस्टन्स कायम व्हॅरी करत गेलो, आता रेजिस्टन्स व्हॅरी केला म्हणजे करंट काय होणार? करंट सुद्धा काय होणार? व्हॅरी होणार. मग जर करंट व्हॅरी झाला तर ही मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड सुद्धा काय होणार, व्हेरिएबल होणार, म्हणजे ते चेंज होत राहणार. मग ह्या चेंज इन मॅग्नेटिक म्हणजे ज्या मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड जी चेंज होते, दिस मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड इज ऑल्सो लिंक विथ दिस n नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स. आणि आपल्याला फॅराडेज लॉ काय सांगतो, व्हेन द चेंज इन मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड लिंक विथ दॅट द कॉइल EMF इज इंड्यूस, म्हणजे त्याच कॉइल मध्ये EMF इंड्यूस होतोय आणि त्याला काय म्हणलं गेलेलं आहे, इट्स अ सेल्फ इंड्यूस्ड EMF. गेट इट माय पॉइंट? येस ऑर नो?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then we will move towards the mutual induced EMF. आता तुम्हाला सेल्फ इंड्यूस्ड EMF लक्षात आला असेल. Now see that mutual induced EMF. आता या ठिकाणी आपण दोन कॉइल कन्सिडर करतोय. One is coil A and another is a coil B, and these two coils are placed near to one another. आता त्या दोन कॉइल काय केलेल्या आहेत, जवळ जवळ ठेवलेल्या आहेत. A coil A is connected with a variable resistor, switch and the battery, but the coil B is not connected to that external supply. It is connected to the galvanometer. आता इथं तुम्ही डायग्राम मध्ये बघा, पिक्चर मध्ये तुम्हाला असं दिसेल की ज्यावेळेस स्विच क्लोज होतोय, स्विच क्लोज झाला की या कॉइल मधून ए कॉइल मधून करंट फ्लो होणार, त्या करंट मुळे मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड तयार होणार, ती मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड कॉइल बी बरोबर लिंक होणार आणि कॉइल बी बरोबर लिंक झाल्यामुळे अकॉर्डिंग टू द फॅराडेज लॉ EMF तयार होणार. त्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला गॅल्व्हनोमीटरचं डिफ्लेक्शन दिसेल. आणि सतत आपण काय करतोय, स्विच ऑन ऑफ करतोय. स्विच ज्यावेळेस क्लोज असेल त्यावेळेस करंट फ्लो होईल, स्विच ज्यावेळेस ओपन असेल त्यावेळेस करंट हा झिरो राहील. म्हणजे कंटिन्युअसली जर आपण स्विच ऑन ऑफ करत गेलो तर करंटची व्हॅल्यू ही 0 टू समथिंग सर्टन व्हॅल्यू ऑफ अ करंट ही कायम चेंज होत राहणार. मग जर करंटची व्हॅल्यू चेंज होत झाली तर त्या चेंज इन करंट मुळे चेंज इन मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड तयार होणार. ज्यावेळेस ही चेंज इन मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड कॉइल बी मध्ये कॉइल बी शी लिंक होणार त्यावेळेस अकॉर्डिंग टू द फॅराडेज लॉ या कॉइल बी मध्ये EMF इंड्यूस होणार आणि त्या इंड्युस्ड EMF ला म्युच्युअल इंड्युस्ड EMF म्हटलं गेलेलं आहे. याला म्युच्युअल इंड्युस्ड EMF का म्हणलं गेलेलं आहे, कारण EMF इंड्यूस्ड इन अ कॉइल बी ड्यू टू चेंज इन अ करंट इन अ कॉइल A. That's why it is called as a mutual induced EMF is there. Get it my point? Try to read it. Mutually induced EMF occurs between the two coils. Let A and B are the two coils which are placed close to each other. If coil A is joined to a battery, a switch and variable resistor R, and the coil B is connected to a sensitive voltmeter, we call it a galvanometer. This is the arrangement. Now, when the switch S is closed, a current will flow through the coil A and produces a magnetic field in which the magnetic field which partly links with the coil B. As current through A is changed, the flux link with the B is also changed. According to the Faraday's law, induced EMF is produced in a coil B, and this EMF is known as mutual induced EMF. Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, please concentrate here. In this today's session, let me take that little one slide here. In the today's session, what we discussed, number one, let me recall that point here. Number one, we discussed that Faraday's law. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. With the help of this Faraday's law, the Faraday's has used the two laws, and we got that one important equation for that induced EMF, which is equal to E is equal to N d phi by dt. Then second thing we discussed that Lane's law. With the help of this Lane's law, one can determine the polarity of that induced EMF, and this will be reflected in the Faraday's law equation with a minus sign. Minus sign is nothing but the Lane's law. Here, d phi by dt, which is nothing but rate of change of flux. But when we try to multiply it with a n, then it will be considered as rate of change of flux linkage, because flux linkage is nothing but the product of n into phi. Is it right? Then the third thing we discussed that based on this induced EMF, induced EMF has its two types. One, it's a dynamically induced EMF, and second, we call it a statically induced EMF. And these two types are based on the position of a conductor. If conductor is a stationary, कंडक्टर काय इथं स्टेशनरी आहे, कंडक्टर घ्या, कॉइल घ्या, बरोबर आहे, इट्स अ स्टेशनरी, वी कॉल इट्स डायनामिकली इंड्यूस्ड EMF. Sorry, not a stationary. What is that? कंडक्टर इज अ डायनामिक, कारण इथं कंडक्टर मूव्ह झाला पाहिजे, कंडक्टर इज अ डायनामिक. And if conductor is a stationary, then it is called as a statically induced EMF. Now, statically induced EMF also having its two types. One is self-induced EMF, and second one is mutual induced EMF. Self-induced EMF means due to change in its own current, and mutual induced EMF means what? Due to change in other change in current in a other coil. Is that this is the conclusion of our today's session? Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes.